Hi, so I'll do the computer.
All right,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very chilled session. Just to kick this off, just want to show you guys some of the altcoins that I've been looking at over the last couple of days. So feel free to unmute your mics, put in any input whenever you like. And I just want to showcase some pretty cool things that I've been coming across. So first off, you guys probably would have seen this coin that I shared, and it's called Micro Vision Chain. Now, we were just having a conversation prior to hitting the record button with Jade. We were saying how he uses MetaMask to complete a lot of transactions and to do a whole bunch of different things. One thing that you guys probably have realized is that there's currently, while we have the Ethereum network and Arbitrum and Binance Smart Chain and all these different networks, we actually don't have one for Bitcoin at the moment. So what's been happening over the last couple of months is this project called Audi launched. Everyone can see my screen, right? Thumbs up if you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so this project called Audi launched, and what Audi is trying to do is create NFTs and a whole bunch of other coins on the Bitcoin network. So when you've got Ethereum, you've got smart contracts, you've got coins that are built on Ethereum, and they're called ERC20 tokens. What the new movement, or what's starting up just recently, is what we call BRC20 tokens, which is basically a token that runs off the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, this has started to generate a little bit of hype over the last couple of weeks, and Ordinals was the first marketplace as such where we can buy these type of BRC20 tokens. And what we found is that Bitcoin is a slow network. It's not like Ethereum. It was never designed for smart contracts. And because of this, when people were trying to buy Ordinals NFTs, essentially what happened was it crashed, or almost crashed Bitcoin. I'm not going to say crashed, but it drastically slowed down the Bitcoin network, where some transactions were taking almost a week to be processed. Problem with that is it means that Bitcoin isn't going to be able to be scaled on its own to be able to provide smart contract capability and for people to make BRC20 tokens. On the other side of that, there's also the whole not being able to connect a Bitcoin such wallet address to MetaMask and be able to do these transactions on the Bitcoin network. So that's where Microvision Chain comes in. And what Microvision Chain is trying to do is build what we call an EVM, which is basically a virtual machine that processes all the code and basically makes smart contracts and things come to life. So where is the article? Here we go. The Bitcoin virtual machine. This one's called the BVM. We have Ethereum, we have the EVM, we've got Valus virtual machines, and a whole bunch of others. Now, this Bitcoin virtual machine, and what the intent of what Microvision Chain is trying to do is they're trying to make an ecosystem utilizing Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, smart contracts, decentralized ID, and scalability, allowing Bitcoin to be the native token for gas, BRC20 tokens to come to life, and basically to enable what Ethereum has done on Ethereum, but on the Bitcoin network. So we call this a layer 2. We call this a layer 2 because what it does is it allows extra functionality on top of a layer 1, which is Bitcoin. So when you have Windows computer, that's your layer 1. You have the Windows software. People are then creating apps on top of Windows. We then have Google Chrome. If you have a look on Google Chrome, how many apps has that been able to create? We have web internet browsing, HTML code. It's allowed for Facebook, Instagram, TradingView, OKX, and all these other platforms to be created. Does everyone follow me so far? Thumbs up if you are. But essentially, we have different layers upon layers of software, and it all stems from the top layer and then gets built downwards. So that is essentially what this MVC chain is trying to achieve, from my understanding. Now, basically, they're allowing for smart contracts of the UTXO model, which was originally Bitcoin's model. It's called UTXO. That's basically the way the program was designed. The problem with that was it didn't allow for scalability and smart contracts. And that's what MVC is intending to bring to the Bitcoin network. Now, what I like about this coin is a couple of things. And first off is how many exchanges it's listed on. So when we go and have a look at all the crypto exchanges out there, what you're going to find is that we have Binance, which is currently the highest in volume, Bybit, OKX, Coinbase, and Gate.io, and etc. Now, as these exchanges have lots of people that are using them, it allows people to buy coins. And now if you have an exchange where there's 1,000 people listed, it's going to limit the exposure of how much this coin can be purchased. Wherefore, if you have an exchange that has 1 million users, it gives that coin more exposure to be purchased, right? Now, with this coin, it's currently not listed on barely any exchanges, only MEXC, which is probably the biggest one. BingX is also quite a large exchange, but it's not up there with your OKX and your Binances, right? And if we're having a look at the top list of exchanges, you'll see that Gates here, CoinW's down here at 11, BingX and MEXC are down at 14 and 15. Now, usually when we see a token get launched on a major exchange, there is a bit of possibility for a pump. That's not always guaranteed, okay? Nothing in this space is guaranteed, but it tends to bring in quite a large amount of volume and people get hyped up about that coin being listed. So that's one of the positive things that I'm looking at here on Microvision Chain. Next thing I really like about it is the market cap. You guys are probably going to hear me, especially on a Monday night, talking a lot about market cap. Now, when a project is somewhat established and has a lot of people that are interested in it, what you're going to find is the market cap's going to be quite high. And you can see that a lot of these tokens here, you've probably heard Maddie talk about Phantom and the Sandbox, which is a game, and a couple of other of these tokens you guys probably would have heard of. But these are all looking at 600 million of market cap. So when we look at a project like this, that currently has $57 million market cap, this shows room for expansion. However, it also shows room for risk. If there's a coin that's out there that hasn't got much traction, what that's essentially going to be telling you is that there's an opportunity that this project could flop and go to zero. And that's why whenever I'm looking at any of these, we call them shitcoin projects, I only invest small amounts of money because of the risk involved. I'm going to show you what I've personally put into this myself and how I'm trading. But essentially, I've bought this. I feel like any product out there, doesn't matter what it is, right? In order for a product to be successful, it needs to fill in a gap. When there's a problem with something, a product comes out to be a solution. Now, the problem that we're having with the BRC20 network is that it's crashing. It's not user-friendly. There's no integration with MetaMask. Now, if MVC or Space, that's the token, can actually come in and pull this off and get all of this working, then there is a potential there for at least 10x in price, at least. Because just for this to match the market cap of some of these other projects that aren't all filling in gaps and are just pretty much trying to compete against an existing product, it shows that there's a lot of potential for that. So that's the first shitcoin I'm looking at. Now, in order to buy this coin, I recommend using MEXC as the exchange to buy it. So here's my account here. You can see that right now I've got about 511 USDT in this coin. I actually bought about $200 worth of it. It's since gone up quite a lot. I bought 16 tokens, and here's my order history. I actually shared this in Empire when it was at $18, and I shared this on my Monday call as well. So if you go back and watch the recording, I did share it on there. I was able to get some at 18, 21, and about my average price to say about 19.80 around there. That was my average entry price. So I am holding this. I'm looking for this long term. It's not something I'm going to sell just yet. We did have this bull flag here, and rule of thumb when trading bull flags, we want to measure the height of the pole, which just like this, we use a line like that, and we measure it from the breakout. We could see from where we are now, a pump up to about $36, and that could be a first take profit. From where we are now to $36, there's still about 20% in it. But I'm not looking for that short-term gain. I'm looking for the much larger gain in terms of market cap, and we start to get those 10x's. If this becomes something quite larger, which looking at its website, they've got a lot going on. So they've already got, where is it here? So it's under solution. I remember looking at this yesterday, but essentially they've already got a whole bunch of bridges being built. They've got a whole bunch of, here we go, ecosystem. So they've already got a desktop wallet for it. They've got a Web3 naming, bringing real social value. They've got a DEX for it being built. They've got the NEWverse, which I'm assuming is some Web3 metaverse. And they've also got their own stable coin, so their own version of USDT. It's called the Space Dollar, which is currently in testnet. So you can see that this ecosystem, it's very new. There's a lot of developers on it. There's about 40 developers out of Hong Kong, Singapore, that are all working hard on this. And you can see that whilst a lot of projects are kind of staying stagnant, this one is building an ecosystem and it's worth peanuts. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. So guys, if you do like this content that I've given you so far, please feel free to like, share, and give us a subscribe to help me to make further videos. Thank you. But let's get back onto it. That's the first one that I did want to show you all. Now, let's see how this one goes over a couple months. Once again, don't risk high amounts of money. Only risk what you can afford to lose. Don't go putting in, $10,000 and then come and crying about it later because it went to zero. Because you've got to remember that these coins do have the potential to go to zero. Whilst a lot of them are promising all these hopes and dreams, it doesn't always play out that way. You can see that even with myself, I've got I wouldn't say a substantial trading account, but I've got quite a large trading account, and I've only put a couple of $100 on it. So always be risk adverse when looking at these different coins. The next coin that I want to show you all is this one here. It's called.
Hey, Seth, why are you bringing that up? I just want to bring up something as well with what you just said. Guys, the fact of the matter is with these coins in particular, because they're new projects, a lot of their strategies in which they talk about, it's all a marketing campaign in the very early days, right? It's built like that to drive the hype around it. They're trying to sell product to get investors. So naturally, they're going to build marketing campaigns that are very strong behind that, right? So a lot of these ones, if you pull up their white papers and things like that, it's going to say, oh, potential partner, blah, blah, blah. And you'll see some really reputable names behind them, right? But realistically, they may not have had conversations with these people just yet. So just keep that in mind when you are buying these coins. Again, it's marketing, it's hype. It's, hey, it may do this in the future, but they may very well not have anything just yet developed that is substantial, all right? So just keep that in mind. And that's why I said the saying, play small, risk what you're willing to lose, because a lot of times you'll see it, coins be really, really fantastic. They promise the world, and then they turn to shit, right? That's so complete transparency around it.
And another thing is using this MEXC exchange. I'll drop the link here in the chat for everybody. Actually, no, I'll give you my affiliate link. You can sign up. Using this MEXC exchange, this also isn't a big exchange, and it also promotes risks of exchanges just disappearing. And that has happened to me in the past. I've lost quite a substantial amount of money from an exchange just disappearing. So my thoughts with this is if MVC does get listed on a more reputable exchange, I will be moving my funds off MEXC and onto a more trusted exchange. Okay, so the next one that I want to show you all is this one here. It's called Hello. Now, this is another small market cap coin. So once again, risky. And pretty much all the coins I'm going to show you guys, just if you are looking to dabble in them, don't dabble too deep. The reason why I like this project is, let me just open up the Twitter page so I can show you. This is essentially the future of crypto and entertainment. They're going to be creating TV shows, games, NFTs, and much, much more. And the reason why I like this one in particular is this is the one that's behind. If you guys heard of Shark Tank, TV show, Shark Tank, they're creating their own version of Shark Tank called Killer Whales. Now, given the fact that some of the people that are on Killer Whales, they're quite large investors and people who are big in the crypto space. You can see here, we've got Rand Newer from Crypto Banter and a whole bunch of other people. You've got CoinMarketCap who are also behind the project. It shows to me that this project is doing real life things. The fact that Killer Whales alone is being produced with such big influences, and this coin is the one behind the show, it shows me that big people are going to be watching this coin. Okay, so fundamentally wise, I'm watching this because I see big players could be in it. Okay, while this could once again still be risky, they are releasing games. They've got the Killer Whales show. It's being filmed in Miami. We're hoping Empire can get on it low key. They were at the Australian Crypto Convention, Big Get. And this is another one where they're partnered with a Universal Music Group, which is big, Altcoin Daily. Also, obviously, I'm pretty sure, or I think we're going to be hearing about this more on a whole bunch of other crypto channels on YouTube. But the thing is, guys, hype drives prices. Okay, hype drives prices. It's like I can have the best product in the world. I have Empire. And the fact about Empire is I don't have a million people talking about it on YouTube. And when we look at Empire, we have 1,000 members. We're growing steadily, but we're not exploding. When you have something like this, a project like this, where you have a whole bunch of YouTube influencers talking about it, and you have YouTube influencers that are involved with this in a way where they've got 80,000 people watching their calls. Altcoin Daily is a very big partner. Altcoin Daily is a big YouTuber. And some of these guys that are on killer whales are also quite large. Now, if they start to get behind Hello Labs, I think that could drive in a lot of volume. And once again, we're looking at this at a market cap of 66 million. Now, comparing this to some of the other projects that are out there, Hello Labs is very new. You can see that it launched on the 31st of October, and this is yet to see a bull run. A lot of altcoins that haven't yet seen a bull run, in the next bull run, could go up quite large if they have really good fundamentals and hype driven behind them. Wherefore, you're going to find a lot of other tokens like your ADA, your XRP, and other tokens that already have seen a few bull runs. They might not do the same amount of crazy gains. And the reason for that is because when a new project comes out, that's filling a gap that hasn't been created. This also relates to the space token that I just showed you. Essentially, what happens is they don't know what the intrinsic value is, and people just jump on a bandwagon. It's all hype. Yeah, I want some, and that sends prices up crazily, right? Problem is, after the bull run is finished, people start to sell up. They take their profits. You find that price often comes down and finds its value. So being able to take opportunity on some of these newer coins before the bull run can also provide good gains. So this is another one here with 66 million. I'm watching it, following it closely, and we're going to see how this one goes. Once again, with this token as well, this one is listed on MEXC and Gate.io, so we can still use MEXC to be able to purchase this. But it's still not listed on any major exchanges. It hasn't hit BitGet. It hasn't hit OKX. However, in saying that, if we go back and have a look at the Hello Labs website, we can see that there's lots of sponsorships here with BitGet. So could a BitGet partnership be coming up soon, or a BitGet listing? Well, it's possible. Is BitGet a big exchange? Well, it's in the top 12. They've got quite a large amount of volume, and they're one of the more so newer upcoming exchanges that we're going to be seeing a lot more of in this bull run. So eyes on eyes on Hello Labs. I think this could be a decent pick. And this is another one where I'm kind of predicting about a 10x, depending on where the bull market takes us. One thing could be is that it's still got a very high supply, 1 trillion coins at the end of the day. So 50% of them have been already circulated, and as the other 50% start to be released, it could affect the performance of the coin. Wherefore, we'll see how we go in the future. We're comparing that to something like Space, where it has a very small supply of only 21 million in total. We can see that this could be one that hits higher dollar value a lot quicker. However, still quite bullish on Hello coming into the future. Now, I've got one more that I wanted to show everybody, and this is Cubic. Now, I've seen some dodgy exchanges before in my time, and this one is currently only available on Trade Ogre. Now, this is an exchange which I don't recommend putting much money in at all. I personally put, I think, $200 I put on this, a little bit less. Yeah, there you go, about $200 US, because this is very high risk. And look, the last time I put money on an exchange that looked like this, and I bought a coin that was only listed on an exchange like this, I actually managed to make really big gains. Problem with that was I actually ended up losing those gains because I just didn't withdraw those coins off the exchange, and eventually they all went missing. All right, the exchange happened to be hacked apparently, and never heard anything back from them. But the reason why I like this Cubic coin, and we're going to open this up on Coin Market Cap.
What do they use, the default template for that website?
They could have
Save their money, put it into their business. Makes sense.
Well, potentially. It's just, look, personally, I like to use safer exchanges, but sometimes you need to get these coins when they're listed on the lower class exchanges before you get the opportunity to see them on the big ones. And being able to get in at the moment on these smaller exchanges, it provides you with potentially a higher ROI for when they do get listed on those other exchanges. So we can see with this, there's not much information on it. I have been following them on Twitter. I'm going to open up their Twitter. And essentially what they're saying is that right now they're going to have a 1,000 trillion supply. Now, if we're looking at 1,000 trillion supply, we times it by the price that it is at the moment, We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal points. So we've got 0.02345,397 times that by 1,000 trillion, which is there. You see that right now, this coin only has a market cap of 3.9 million. That's tiny. That is 1/10 of what you saw with Space and those other tokens. Now, this is only available on Trade Ogre and Safe Trade. Safe Trade's currently having some dramas with their exchange at the moment. People aren't even able to get onto that exchange. And that's just a perfect example of the risks that some of these coins have. I'm going to show you right now. We'll see if the website's back up, but it hasn't been up for the last couple of days. Not sure if there's been a runner that's been taking place there or not, but there you go. It's not even loading. So that just shows you the kind of risks that are involved with buying these. So please don't put much money into them. Okay. Now, this coin here, Cubic, is looking to achieve proof of work powered network, looking to achieve true AI and true finality with high speed smart contract integration. Now, this is a thing that's basically reshaping the digital landscape. It's going to be a new layer 1 blockchain. And some people on Twitter are calling this to be the new Casper token. If anyone saw Casper, it pumped really quite hard. Now, this one here, it has a lot of developers also working on it. This is very new, and they're only starting to kick off development on December the 1st. So looking at this token, you are extremely early to it. One of the things that gets me excited about this is just the fact that so many people are talking about it on Twitter. It's being shilled left, right, and center. And probably half the reason why that Safe Trade exchange came down was because of people that are trying to buy Cubic right now. And it's seen a lot of gains over the last couple of weeks, and they're actively working on it. So right now, it looks dodgy. Look at the website. It looks very shady, right? There is, I can see Matty, he's trying to hold back his laughter. But in saying that, this is how really small projects start. They start off very average and they slowly start to grow. And we can see that you can see that here on their Twitter page, they also they've redesigned their website, so it is going to look a lot more professional in the short-term future. But essentially, this one here, I'm going over it because it has a low market cap. I've put small amounts of money into it because, yes, it is extremely high risk. And what they're doing is, there's not a whole bunch of information on it right now, which kind of gets me a bit skeptical about it. You can see their services are to do AI and basically promote like a decentralized AI where people who basically are helping with the proof of work mechanism, whether it be mining, is going to help to train the AI. So that's a pretty cool thing. We're seeing a lot of AI tokens at the moment kind of explode. A lot of tokens that are related with AI, especially decentralized AI, we've seen over the last couple of days have seen really large gains. And this is just a new AI project, essentially, that hasn't even started being built yet. So you're very early to this. However, this is an extremely risky token, guys. This is very risky. And anything with this one here, look, I'm putting in a extreme small amount of money on it. Speaking of AI, one token that is starting to get some traction, and I did post a few charts about this recently in Empire, is Render. Now, if you look at Render is a project that is starting to make GPU-based or graphics card-based rendering solutions, and it's changing the way digital creation is being made. Now, the thing is with Render, though, is look at the market cap. Right, whilst this still does have potential for growth, don't get me wrong, Render still has potential for growth. It's at $1.2 billion, right? Now, if you compare that to what you're seeing with this smaller one here that I just showed you, with Cubic, that's at 4 million. So this has the potential, if this was to match that, it would be the potential for at least 300x. So sometimes when it comes to trading crypto, you need to find these coins that aren't doing much. We can read the full white paper of what they're trying to achieve here and learn about Cubic. They've got all their documents, what they're trying to do. It's useful proof of work. And I'll basically leave this here for you so you guys can take a look. But yeah, there's not much here. It's very, very new. It actually only just got launched. Let's have a look. It only just got launched November 14th. So they're about a week old, just over a week old. So this is a very, very fresh project. Do I think this is going to go to the moon? Maybe. Sorry, Corey, what were you going to say, mate?
So their Discord might have a bit of information on it.
I have joined their Discord. It is actually quite active, believe it or not. So they and that gets me excited because it shows that people are watching it. So this is their Discord. I was on it earlier. At the moment, there's about 1,600 people in there, and the thing is that they are talking. There is support going on in here. You can see that people are doing things right now. Another thing I do like about this is they have integrated a burn mechanism. And if we're looking at the Twitter page here, where is it here? I saw it earlier, but they did put something in here about a burn mechanism. And essentially, I think they're predicting about 21 years and the entire supply could be burnt. So I'm looking for this in maybe 1 to 2 years to see how much it's going to actually get burnt. But we all know that a lower supply with demand leads to higher prices, whilst 21 years is a substantial amount of time, don't get me wrong. It is exciting to see this start to take off and this start to get built. So we also see that the Cubic team is actively in talks with multiple exchanges, paving the way to get this going. Now, the thing is even seeing this getting listed on a bigger exchange like MEXC or Gate is something that could open up the doors to seeing more money flow into this token. So that's why I'm keeping my eyes on this. Now, the last one I wanted to show you all in regards to AI is there's Tau, but there's also Zeph, Z-E-P-H. This one isn't to do with AI. Tau is another one, but it's already kind of pumped. So here is another one. I haven't had too much time to look into this just yet. However, this is the untraceable over-collateralized stablecoin protocol. Thing I like about this is coming into this new world that we're in at the moment, where the governments want access to everything. They want to see everything that we're doing. There is a bit of a call for privacy. And privacy is something that, look, the government's got its ears in everything. Some people have even got Google Homes in their house, and even that's listening to you and collecting data about you without you even knowing, like the Amazon Alexas, right? Privacy is going to be one of those things that moving forward, people are going to look for. To be able to have a stable coin, which is untraceable and over-collateralized, which means that if they have 1 trillion coins, there might be like $1.1 trillion worth backing it. It's over the money that's there, showing that it's, it's more stable, less likely to crash, even though who knows. It does show some promising things, and they're saying it's been battle tested. They've got their wallets all done. You can download the Windows wallet for it. It's also being listed on once again, some smaller exchanges. Trade Ogre, there we go. That's the one that we saw earlier with this coin here that I bought with Cubic. So these are very new coins. This one here has a very small supply. However, the max supply could expand over time. So that's the only thing that I'm really worried about. It has seen a massive pump. I am staying away from it temporarily, but waiting for a better entry. You can see that even this token here has a market cap of double some of the coins that I've already showed you guys. I showed you Hello. I showed you Space. That other one that's got a $4 million market cap. But that $4 million market cap to just reach 100 million, well, that's already what's that, like a 25x alone. That's some of these coins that are just very, very new. So guys, that's all we got time for today. I will drop the links to these in the chat below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll give you guys more and more content over the next few weeks. We'll see how even longer potentially. I'm going to keep developing content for everybody, showing everyone what I'm looking at. Once again, be very safe when you're investing in these coins. Don't go all in. Remember that these exchanges are, not exactly the most trusted exchanges in the world. And yeah, happy trading out there. I wish everybody all the best, and let's hope we can get some further gains out of them all. Thanks, guys.
Peace.